cause mayhem, do damage, and hurt people. And yours is more of like a skill, technical-based wrestling, like a wrestling at its core, if you would. Kind of
a purist.
Reminiscent of watching people like Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's gonna be interesting to see three guys from a very technical show going up against three guys who just like to cause mayhem. You know,
and that I tell you, man, styles make fights. Styles make for great matchups. And that, I'm telling you that right there, just that ladder match of that big cluster of mayhem, of technique, of different styles going at one another all at one time to get one goal. And that one goal is to become #1 contender for any title at any time. That Money in the Bank contract. That contract right there, when you sign it, you sign a lifestyle. And that lifestyle is future champion. Think about it. Future champion.
Or at least the possibility of future champion. Because, you know, you can win that Money in the Bank, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to beat whoever holds that belt.
That is true.
You know, nothing is set in stone. I mean, this ladder match is basically a massive opportunity. But that massive opportunity has two major walls. You have the ladder match itself, and you have the person that he chooses to cash that Money in the Bank in for. If he turns in that suitcase and loses his match, what a royal upset!
Oh man, that is. I'll just tell you now. You win. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. As we see, the Punisher, Curt Collins, makes his in-ring.
And this man right here, more than anybody else in this match, knows what it's like to go up against championship talent because he himself had it. He was in the match and was minutes
in a ladder match, nonetheless,
against the current international champion, and was moments mere feet away from stopping what is the international champion right now.
Here we go, as Crimson X straight to the outside, wisely go for some tables over on the other end.
And Crimson X already with the wood in hand. Usually I don't get that till the morning.
As Curt Collins reverses and slams the table onto Crimson X's face there.
And now you got Chris Savage on the ground and Johnny Columbus and the Punisher in the ring at the same time. But Johnny Columbus smartly gets out.
Wisely go for the man on the floor.
And now Crimson X hits him with a huge suplex right there.
As Johnny Columbus and Chris Savage over on the other end and gets an Irish whip into the corner, but misses the boot. And Chris Savage here to pick up the pieces. Hard handle slam. No!
Curt Collins with a nice toss of Crimson X. Crimson X back on the feet and a shoulder check to Curt Collins. And look at that. The disrespect. But you know what? This is a tables match. It don't matter about respect right now. One of these men is going through solid wood. And I can't wait to see who it is.
I can't wait
either. At
the
end of the day, I'm a fan of Asylum, and these are the kind of matches that they're known for. So
and here we go as a cross arm breaker by Johnny Columbus.
And now, look at that, spinning his arm, almost taking it out of the socket to Curt Collins.
Definitely is, as Chris Savage in a vicious arm drag and a DDT.
And Chris Savage in control of Johnny Columbus. Johnny Columbus rolls out of the ring.
Oh, and makes his way over to Curt Collins. Does Chris Savage.
But Crimson X knocks him out.
Not finished with him just yet. And drops him there.
Tosses him. I don't know if I was Curt Collins. Ooh, and a huge right hand.
Putting him on his back.
Now it's just Savage and Crimson.
Crimson X is on the floor, and he knows what it takes to be in a match with the champ.
Savage is just savagely beating him with that table.
I see what you did there, but Johnny Columbus, the danger zone, is in the ring here tonight, and he's here to take control.
Johnny Columbus back in the ring, and now Curt Collins back in the ring, taking care of Crimson X.
A lot of stuff going on in the corner there.
Crimson X on the outside, Curt Collins on the outside, and Johnny Columbus going after Curt Collins.
As Chris Savage wisely rolls out of the ring trying to get a breath.
Curt Collins, gets punished by getting dropped on that mat.
See what you did there. As Crimson X rolls Johnny Columbus into the ring, and a clubbing forearm and a big boot that rolls him into the ring.
Now Crimson X trying to get that table back into the ring.
Crimson X
is the only one here who's trying to win the match.
I'm telling you, everybody else is looking to decapitate one another in a big forearm that puts Johnny Columbus on his butt in the ring.
And here comes Crimson X, getting ready to set that table up.
Dead center.
Set the tables.
Dead center of the ring. This is bad for anyone. You're one misstep from getting the
Johnny
game
Columbus
over.
Oh, the reverse DDT.
As the Punisher, Kurt Collins just springboards off of the second rope.
And no.
Gets tossed
into the table. Johnny Columbus is about to set him up.
Oh, this is not looking good. Chris Savage may go through it, but no. Oh, and a little bit of double team on the smaller competitor.
Kurt Collins was very smart to do that, because if he didn't, it looked like Columbus was going to go for a suplex onto that table.
Definitely
and Kurt Collins wasted no time.
Man, did that friendship
but no, Columbus pushes him off in a fireman's carry to take him back down.
That partnership lasted, what, all of 3 seconds.
And now, Crimson Knight getting ready to hit him with that finisher maneuver, but no.
Oh, straight into the table is Johnny Columbus. Johnny Columbus looking, he was looking to make a move.
Crimson X is not allowing it to happen, because Crimson X knows that one of them has to go to the table.
Oh, and he went for a belly-to-belly, but
and
no.
instead gets dragged down. Now it's nobody but Savage and Crimson in the ring.
And Johnny Columbus and Kurt Collins on the side.
Savage. Ooh, look at Savage.
Going after.
Beating Crimson X in a big uppercut, knocking down the table.
I don't know if that's what Savage was actually intending to do, but he did knock the table out. Yes. But now he's setting it back up.
Savage puts him into the corner. Sets up that table in the top right corner of the ring.
And Johnny Columbus throws Kurt Collins
back
into
in
the
there.
ring.
Now it's a matter of who puts who through the table first.
And Chris Savage is leaned up on it.
It looks like...
But Johnny Columbus looked like he was going through it too, but a big chop there.
Oh, no, but Savage is saved from the table. He gets spared. And Kurt Collins breaks up the hold. And now Savage...
Trying to set up...
Crimson X.
Oh, no.
Crimson X.
Crimson X returns.
Sends him... Oh, and
sends him into the
break
corner.
The table.
No, but sends him back into the corner. They are fighting. They don't want to get tossed through that table. Will he cross the match? He does. He
Chris
does.
Savage picking up the win. What a...
Chris Savage power bombs Crimson X through the table. Through the table.
Power bomb. Crimson X goes through the table, and again, continuing his losing streak after the loss at Outbreak.
You can see Kurt Collins was trying to fight the maneuver, but Chris Savage, nothing but vicious intent, fighting through the punches, fighting through the forearms, and still powers through and gets Crimson X through the table with a power bomb.
What a win for the Savage one.
Chris Savage picks up a huge victory here tonight. And this one right here, this is the return of the evil ways of Chris Dallas. No more hopping and bopping, no more shocking and dropping, or
hipping and hopping.
Tangling and dangling, none of that. He got rid of it. He is back to his old ways. Chris Dallas is in the building, and he's had an itch for Mr. Brad Bishop. Brad Bishop is everyone's favorite underdog, but he does not have any intentions of letting this underdog story become true.
Brad Bishop is coming off of that vicious attack of EAG last week, and he was not very happy about being attacked after the match by Philly.
I was not very happy as well, and you gotta think, man, with EAG on the prowl, this is not... I boosted up security, so, I'm hoping that none of this ever happens once again, but Chris Dallas versus Brad Bishop, this match right here is going to be a doozy, and I can't wait to see what happens here.
Well, I got my money on my boy Chris Dallas. Yeah,
Brad Bishop is the new #1 contender, my friend. We may be looking at the new international champion right there, Mr. Brad Bishop.
Listen, man, After the beating that EAG gave Brad Bishop, I'm surprised Brad Bishop even wants to go after the belt anymore. If it was me, I would pack my bags and go home. Personally.
That's why we are not in-ring competitors. Chris Dallas back to his evil ways, man. This is a big change.
Is my man rocking the mullet?
The mullet. He's rocking the Jason mask. I'm telling you, it's Friday the 13th. Every night that this man enters the ring, enters the arena, this man is a vicious and he's a force to be reckoned with. This man right here is a beast, ladies and gentlemen.
My boy is rocking the mullet. Oh, there's nothing in the front, but it's always a party in the back.
Chris Dallas is this whole change of attitude. He feels like it's for the better, and he is here to welcome
he got
the next.
I don't know what they call that. I guess it's just the mullet, I guess.
And this right here is the #1 contender for the WGW International title. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brad Bishop.
And let's see if Brad Bishop can pick up a win here tonight and get a little bit of peace of mind back after that attack by the EAG group.
I know his feelings, man. I know what's going through his mind. It's the uncertainty that he can go one-on-one with Chris Dallas, but in the back of his mind,
he's worried. He might be worried that he might be meeting one of the EAG members at any moment. And I gotta tell you, this is a unique attire for Bishop. Not usually one I'm used to seeing him wear, but he is here. He is ready to fight. So that's all we got to say about that.
Brad Bishop going one-on-one with Chris Dallas. Chris Dallas feels like he should be the rightful #1 contender for that international title as Chris Dallas and Brad Bishop meet right here, right now. This match is underway. Let's go, Alfred.
And here we go. Ooh,
Chris Dallas opens up.
Back fist. Hitting Brad Bishop. And another one. DJ Khaled out here, my friend.
And a big
double
clubbing
axe handle right there. Taking down Bishop. And now dropping all that weight on the shoulder of Brad Bishop. Is definitely going to do some damage.
Chris Dallas is a force to be reckoned with, ladies and gentlemen. And it is being on display here tonight. In
big
a big
chop.
And
a big headbutt.
No, but he hangs on.
And another headbutt.
Hangs on once again. And lands a third one.
A massive headbutt from the massive man, Chris Dallas.
I can't believe what I'm seeing here tonight. And a face smasher by Brad Bishop. He's not out of it just yet. And he goes over for a rollover. But no, not putting the pin on is too early.
Oh,
he
look
knows
at that.
it.
The hyperextension.
No
of the
way.
leg.
His foot is touching the back of his head. Chris Dallas is flexible. I doubt it.
And now Chris Dallas fights out of that hold. But Brad Bishop still maintains.
Oh, and a chin check by Chris Dallas.
Oh, and an elbow from Brad Bishop. And now Brad Bishop in control of the match here.
And a swinging DDT.
Taking the big man, maneuvering all of the way to that big man off and just landing all on his head.
As he hits him with the judo throw. Chris Dallas goes for the cover here. No.
Not even a 1 count. Not even a 1 count.
Brad Bishop is nothing to play with, man. He is a legitimate #1 contender. And a T-bone suplex by Chris Dallas.
All that weight, though. Chris Dallas is a big guy, my friend. And when you're getting hit by that much weight, it doesn't matter how athletic or how skilled you are. You know, you could be taking a dip.
It's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. And a fireman's carry by Brad Bishop.
And Brad Bishop, but gets hit. Gets a jab to the ribs.
Oh,
there.
and a choke slam by Chris Dallas, but still hangs on to the choke.
Continuing choking.
And he goes after him once again. He is not done with him. Chris Dallas is a beast, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a vicious side. I don't know why is everyone turning? Why is everyone turning? Chris Dallas turns. Primetime turns.
Well, to be fair, this was
Chase Henderson.
This was Chris
turns
Dallas.
on the squadron. Actually, I think he's done the right thing because Edward Davis is not really the right way to go.
You know what? I gotta disagree with you right there, buddy. Chase Henderson doing a good partnership. He ended the reign of the Knights of the Round You know what, man? In my opinion, Chase Henderson made a huge mistake.
Ah, phooey. Chase Henderson.